Hi, my name is Catherine Roseland with Board Game Geek TV here at Spiel 2013. I'm sitting with Philip Murmark from CGE, and he's here to talk about the new expansion to Tzolk'in, Tribes and Prophecies.
Yes, this expansion, oops, I'm losing components already. This expansion is done the same way we are doing our expansions, which means it's split it into several segments which you can use separately. First of all, there is fifth player pieces, which introduce another player color and everything, little things extra which I explain later. The most important part of the expansion are these tribe styles. Now, we didn't want to make the game more complex because it's already quite complex, quite meaty game with steep learning curve. But some people did complain that the game doesn't have too much replayability, or that it has only 3 ways to victory, stuff like that. You always get people complaining about different things. So we wanted to introduce something extra, and these are the tribe styles. Tribe styles, actually, at the start of the game, each player gets get to choose from 2 or 3, and it will give you special power. So, for example, the very simple one, you are starting with the 3 wealth styles instead of 2, but you are also losing favor of 1 god of your choosing. Another one, for example, this one, Tikal and Uxmalgir are connected, and so are Yashilan and Paleng, which means that if you are standing on the Tikal gear with your guy, you can actually go to the same spot on the Uxmal gear. Ah. So it brings you a lot more diverse strategy. In here, this one, you can pay 1 corn and get one spot extra with your guy. So it brings a lot more diversity, variety, and so on. So there are 13 of these styles in the game.
And each person gets to start with 1.
Yes, absolutely. So lots more replayability. Another thing is Prophecies. So this is Prophecy board, and again, to add some variety and replayability, you will get to select. You will randomly select 3 prophecies, and they will tell you that for second quarter of the game, third quarter of the game, and last quarter of the game, there will be something harder to do in the game. For example, in here, every time you want to go step up in the green god temple, you need to pay extra resource. But at the same time, at the end of that quarter, you will get everybody will get points for how further they are in the Greed God's temple. So if you are at -1, if you actually begged for corn at that temple, you will lose 5 points. But if you are really at the top, you will gain 13 corn. Again, there are 13 tiles like this. They are randomly selected for each game, so another big portion of replayability and variety.
And they add something that makes the game a little more difficult, but at the same time, give us a nice.
Absolutely, they will give you something to focus on. They will give you, and they are nicely. They can interact nicely with these styles, because at the start of the game, when you see the prophecies, you are thinking like, okay, perhaps this power could be a little bit better at this time.
Exactly.
So there is also some little strategy even before the game, like selecting the right combination.
But they can be used individually from another.
Absolutely, this is
together.
one part. This is another part. The last part. Small part are new buildings. There are only 4 for each age. We didn't want to put too many of them to actually to mix up all the nice balance which we have in the base game. But there are some new interesting mechanics. So all the H1 buildings, if you can look in here into this corner, there is like 2 buildings on top of each other, and that means rebuild action. Now, rebuild means if I build this building, I can later on build on top of it another green building, and I have discount of these resources. Ah. So and also they will give you some resources or some corn at each feed day. So they work a little bit differently. Kind of new mechanics introduced to the game, but it adds another variety.
That's nice.
That's the buildings, and let's introduce the 5th player. So. The 5th player, obviously fifth player pieces, as you could imagine, new forest tiles, new corn tiles, but also since we didn't add any extra gears, the game can get kind of crowded in a way. So there's another thing we added. We call it quick action tiles. This little board that goes on top of game board in the place where the first player area is. And it adds some 3 new actions. Now these actions, they are linked to these tiles. So since we don't have the base game in here, I have to improvise. So you have to imagine that there is the nice Tzolk'in gear under this, and you laid out all these tiles on the main gear.
All right, around
and
it.
Yeah, around it. And every time this tile gets to the starting position, you just take it here. You just take it and put it here. And it means that for this turn, this action is actually anybody can use this action. There are 3 spots. You can put your worker in here for 1 corn. And just as the first player spot, after the turn, instead of just keeping it here, you remove it right away. But you get to perform this action. So there are 3 extra spots for the whole game. So
just
it adds
to make sure that
absolutely
doesn't get too tight. And each of them are a 1 use.
Actually not. They will stay there for 2 turns, so it can be used up to 6 times.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there are 3 spots to 2 turns.
But they get removed from the game once
Then removed from the
dial is
game,
gone.
and you put another one, and so on and so on. Goes on. So that's another kind of variety in the game. During testing, we actually enjoyed this mechanics quite a lot. So we decided that you can actually use it even with less players. There are some special rules how to not use all these squares and so on.
Okay.
But all in all, you can use it even with less players. I think that covers it.
So there's the extra player and this extra mechanic to help that. There's the new tiles. There is the tribes, and then there's the prophecies.
There are the prophecies, yes. And also for people who had problem with reading the color of the of the wooden cubes, we decided to put there the yellow ones instead of the gold ones, because some people couldn't recognize the gray one from the gold one.
So just a little bonus there.
Yeah, just a little bonus.
That was Tzolk'in, Tribes and Prophecies
Yes.
from CG. Thank you.